what exactly did we do there? Because he says early last year we were told this was going to happen. So what precise planning went into getting us prepared for this week?
Okay, so Evans, I just want to draw your mind to a particular development that, as I have stated, as a result of this plant maintenance, we're to lose 750 megawatts of power, of electricity. Now, we made arrangements to replace it, as I've already said, with 780 megawatts of power. I do not think that any of the panelists in your studio will suggest that we have shed anywhere close to even 750 megawatts within that period. If no alternative plans were laid afoot to make up for the shortfalls, how come we're able to get the 500 megawatts of power? I'm saying this because you have stated that there is a consensus in your studio that there was a lack of alternative planning. Respectfully, I disagree, but I am also stating this position. But if indeed that was the case, then we shouldn't have been able to even find the 500 megawatts of power that has been widely reported to make up for the shortfall to lead to about the 200 or so that has been widely reported as well. I am saying to you that, yes, indeed, we had alternative plans, but some faults developed. And it is these faults that have let us down. Because if you have fuel, no matter the quantity of fuel that you have, if you have the fuels and the plants are faulty, there's nothing you can do about it.
So, okay, so his point is, so you say the plants are faulty. Which plants specifically?
TICO, units 3 and 2, we had a problem with TAPCO, and then PON, unit 4. As I've already stated, I can send these things to you, but I can mention off the top of my head. What I remember is TICO unit 3 had a problem, jammed shaft. TICO unit 2 had a problem with the bore scoop. We had to do an inspection on that. TAPCO unit 2 had a vibration fault as well. And as I've already stated, BUI, I'm not sure whether it's units 1 or 2, also had a governor fault, and we had to look at all of these things. And I'm saying to you that clearly, in as much as there's a consensus, the idea of a consensus and the lack of alternative fuel ignores the fact that these problems also developed. But I do not want to butt heads over all of these things. What I want to say to all of us, including the gentlemen in your studio, is that, listen, as a country, we've come to this point. For us, we've looked at this and we've managed this challenge this way. To the best of my knowledge, all of these things will come to a head, or will come to an end by the end of this week, hopefully. As I speak to you, the commissioning phase is on. I'm aware, as per the conversations I had this morning, that ENI was ready and willing to flow about 140 million scarf of gas today to be used for the commissioning phase. There were one or two issues about commercial agreements that had to be looked at. I'm sure that within the course of the day, they were looked at. I'm yet to cross-check whether the gas was flowed today or not. But as I have said, there's a general improvement in the system, and we are looking forward to the fact that by this weekend, all of these challenges would have ended.
Now, there are plants in the east. What particularly was the plans for the plants in the east?
Well, you see, so that whole imbalance that was created also created quite a couple of problems for us, because some of the biggest challenges that we had within this period was that the voltage was fluctuating, and this was mostly because, as you have said, the plants in the east and the plants in the west balanced the grid out. So the instability that was created by the outages in the east created that fault for us. But as I've said to you, we had alternate fuel that were available. As I speak to you right now,
so just for clarity, what precisely then was the problem that caused the imbalance from the plants in the east? You mentioned that.
Yes, and like I have said, I do not have the full report in front of me as I speak, but what I'm aware of is that there were some faults. I've mentioned the ones that I remember off the top of my head immediately, but I can get those ones for you specifically. However, what I also want to say is that as I speak to you today, as I speak to you, I know that AXA has fuel, I know that SemPower has fuel, and I can give you a full update of the kinds of fuel that was procured. So for me, that really, with all due respect to the gentlemen in the studio, despite the consensus that they have, is not the issue. However, we take all of their suggestions on board, but that may not necessarily be the reality.